USC enters week 2 of a 3-game crucible to possibly reach the college football playoffs. But in order to do that for a second consecutive week, the Trojans have to show that they can muscle up against a more physical opponent. Hi, I'm James of Faithful Angelino Sports with a preview of USC football, the 6th-ranked Trojans versus number 15 Notre Dame. And if you enjoy talking about USC football, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do talk about the Trojans here. When I make my predictions, they are based on my observations. I do watch the games. I'll even go through and watch a little film afterwards. I read preseason previews and then follow the teams as they go through the year. What they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, what they're figuring out as the season goes on. But for this game, what I want to start off with is not my observations. I want to start off with what other people are saying, particularly the ones who think that the 8-3 Fighting Irish are going to come to SoCal and knock off 10-1 USC. The majority of those people taking Notre Dame write or say things such as, quote, things have to break Notre Dame's way, unquote. They have to force USC to commit turnovers. Quarterback Drew Pine finally puts it all together. Or there's going to be a block punt late. Now, all of it, reads like they've been injecting hopium right into the vein. Just a nice straight shot. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that Notre Dame sucks or that they're clearly outmatched. Earlier in the year, I definitely thought they were going to be overwhelmed with first-year coach Marcus Freeman because they lost to Stanford. USC beat them. They lost to Marshall. They barely beat Cal. The Irish opened up the season 3-3. Their offense was a bloody mess. But the Notre Dame team, specifically the offense, eventually got right. Maybe not with God, but with their linemen. Notre Dame wants to play Saturday like the priest is going to forgive everything they did on Sunday morning. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say is they want to play as physical as possible. And if that means a few things over the line, so be it. Their wins can be credited to any one of 3 running backs, but more often than not, it's either Audric Estime with 782 yards and 11 touchdowns, or Logan Diggs with 698 yards and 2 touchdowns. They run the ball. They get physical. So let's go back to those so-called predictions. All that talk about Drew Pine putting it all together, cut it out. Stop it. When Notre Dame beat Clemson earlier this year, Pine threw for only 85 yards. He has no one to throw to. If Pine throws, nobody will be happier than the USC defense. They lead the nation with 18 interceptions. USC will be literally begging Notre Dame to throw the ball. If they get out to an early lead and Notre Dame has to throw, the Irish are toast. Simple as that. As for forcing USC turnovers, Caleb Williams has thrown 3 interceptions all year. So you may as well wipe that one away too. And same for predicting block punts. Block punts are fluke plays. They don't happen that often. Are you starting to see where we're talking about hopium with regards to the pro-Notre Dame journalism crowd? Notre Dame has 2 things going for it on this 5-game winning streak. We already mentioned the running offense, but they also have a pass rush that is number 10 in the nation in sacks. Jason Ademilola, he can play. So can Isaiah Foskey. So the question is, can Williams avoid the rush? That's a good question for USC. Now, Williams gets sacked less than twice a game on average. He gets sacked less than twice a game. Only Utah got him more than 3 times. So what I want to do is now talk about the way I'm seeing things. I want to paint a different scenario. Saturday morning, Michigan torments C.J. Stroud. Maybe the Wolverines don't beat Ohio State, but Stroud doesn't look good, and all of a sudden Williams has a wider lane to grab the Heisman Trophy. Because, frankly, Notre Dame hasn't seen anybody as dynamic as Caleb Williams yet. That's one. So you have a quarterback known for eluding rushes, taking on a banged-up defensive backfield from Notre Dame with a Heisman resume to build. For that matter, you have the Trojans 2 wins away from a potential college football playoff. A team, by the way, whose only loss was on the road in Utah in the last minute. So yeah, I'm going to tell you, Notre Dame does in fact have a legit shot to win. I like physical football teams. I can easily conceive Notre Dame controlling the clock, controlling the ball, etc., winning that way instead of hoping and praying for blocked punts or for a quarterback who threw for less than 100 yards in a game, hoping that he all of a sudden pops up like Joe Montana reincarnate. That's hope. Notre Dame to win has to control the ball. But you know what? That was the same game plan for UCLA. And look what happened to them. Zach Charbonnet was held to just 95 yards last week. So while all the national press is saying that things have to break right for Notre Dame, all I have to tell you is Caleb Williams has to be Caleb Williams. Just that simple. That and the USC defensive front should be as physical as it was against the Bruins 1 week ago. That is not hopium. That is a game plan. In other words, USC has more paths to victory, and that, despite the fact that I believe Notre Dame is a good football team, that is why I'm taking the Trojans. I think USC drops 40 points on Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame can keep up with that pace. But let me know what you think in the comments thread. And by the way, I'm going to the game tomorrow. If you are going, I look forward to seeing you there. It'll be nice. Say hi. And if you enjoyed talking about USC football, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We talk about the Trojans here on Faithful Angelinos. Thank you for watching. I'm James. Faithful Angelinos is a Quian Corte El Queso production. Take care.